Hey, NFL procrastinators. Uh, Maybe you noticed I didn't make a video last week. I was attending some personal issues. It's been a rough year for me, but I don't want to get too deep into that. I'm back, week 7. Let's just do a little recap of how I did the previous 2 weeks. You didn't get a chance to do that. And by the way, I didn't cheat, you guys. So just to let you know, my word's pretty good. But in week 5, we went 10-4. Pretty good, right? Yeah. Last week it went 6-8. Let's start with just some of the news. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay. What are they going to do? Hundley is one of the options. I forget the other one. The Packers are kind of, should I say screwed? I don't know. Maybe Hundley could do what Prescott did in the sense that Romo always been injured, and then he steps up and plays out of this world. But I don't know. I'm not going to put money on it if I was a betting man anyway. Green Bay lost to Minnesota. Uh, Giants got their first win over Denver at Mile High Stadium. That's kind of a shocker. Arizona took it to Tampa Bay. That signing of Adrian Peterson is looking brilliant right now because Peterson realized he still has the potential to be a number one starting running back anywhere. Proved that this past weekend. I believe he had like 96 rushing yards, I think, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Nonetheless, he held a lot of fantasy owners, much, and even more importantly, his own cause. Uh, New England came away with a controversial win, I heard. Uh, it sucks though, because they already, Tom Brady and company probably already get a lot of crap from fans. I myself am a Tom Brady fan, not a Patriots fan, but I saw that catch where it should have been a touchdown. That was a touchdown in my eyes. Washington beat San Francisco. San Francisco, along with Cleveland, remained winless. Detroit couldn't take advantage of New Orleans. New Orleans is doing pretty good. Sean Payton might have some job security if the Saints keep it rolling. And Jacksonville can't win at home yet. 3-3 overall, but they're a dangerous team when on the road. Apparently, Pittsburgh gives Kansas City their first loss. Philadelphia beats Carolina at Carolina. That's a big win for Carson Wentz and company. I think Doug Peterson's their coach. Quote me or correct me on that, actually, if on the name. But pretty good week overall. There's some teams that are on a roll, and then teams that have caught a bad break, and teams that just can't get it together. So let's roll into week 7. Week 7. Overall, I'm 51-40 on the year. This Thursday night game, I'm going to say Kansas City goes into Oakland, and they redeem themselves quickly. Oakland's just going downhill since Carrs got hurt. They lost on the last-second field goal. The Chargers, I picked that game right. I see Kansas City's defense being too much for Oakland. They just can't seem to get it going offensively. Like I said, without Carrs, different. Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh at home in this one. Took it to the Chiefs. They outgained the Chiefs big time, but they only scored 19 points. But you got to make sure you capitalize on your chances. Or you look good in the, you don't, style points don't get you any extra points. But Pittsburgh, though, if Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown and other receiving corps get it together and their defense sticks with it like they did against Kansas City, I see no problems against Cincinnati. Minnesota versus Baltimore. I got to say Minnesota is probably the favorite to win the NFC North right now, and I'm going with them over Baltimore. New Orleans versus Green Bay. My dad told me that Green Bay was the favorite here. I'm kind of shocked by that, if that is true, but I'm going with New Orleans. I don't know what to expect. Don't know how to look at Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be a whole new look for them. I'm going with the Saints. This is an opportunity then for Sean Payton and them to get this win. Pretty huge game for them as well. Miami, New York Jets. Miami has turned the tables pretty quick the past 2 weeks. They beat Atlanta last week, and then the week before that, they surprised me and they beat Tennessee. I thought Tennessee was a better team, but Miami, I was always high on them. Past couple years, their defense I always thought was pretty good with good players such as Cameron Wake. They got something going with their running back JJ, I believe. Is that how you say his name? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But I like Miami. It's going to be a tough game. Jets are, not a pushover. It looks like as in recent years, with the exception of 2015. But this Jets team very well could fight for 500 and maybe even a potential playoff spot. Who knows? So this is a big game again for both teams, and it's also a divisional matchup. So that's another key point to that. Carolina versus Chicago. Cam Newton did not have a good game last week. Had 3 interceptions. It's going to obviously need to fix that. I believe Carolina will go into Chicago and win. This is the must-win, I think, for them if they want to maintain first place in the NFC at least. They're not in trouble as far as playoff positioning as of yet. still a little early in the season. But Arizona versus the LA Rams, I like to sign with Adrian Peterson. They have a run game now. They have Carson Palmer. They have Larry Fitzgerald. Their defense just now is the other part I think needs to step up. They gave up a lot of points to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but Buccaneers do have a little bit of some arsenal in their weapon, arsenal in their offense. uh, we're going to Arizona this one, but it should be a good game. The LA Rams have been playing decent. They're 4-2, I believe. Tampa Bay versus Buffalo. I'm going with Tampa Bay in this one. I don't know why exactly, but I just think they're due for a win. Jacksonville versus Indianapolis. 2 reasons I picked them. Indianapolis is terrible. Jacksonville is undefeated on the road this year. Dallas versus San Francisco. I'm just going with Dallas simply because San Francisco is a joke. Maybe it's not good in-depth analysis to pick against them, but they're winless with the Cleveland Browns, for God's sakes. And Dallas, maybe they're not like last year, but this is a must-win, and it should be a surefire win and a great win for them because it'll keep them in the standings, especially if they want to keep in pace with the Eagles, who I will get to here in a couple seconds. But then we're going with Tennessee and Cleveland. Tennessee, you need to win this one, please. You came back in the fourth quarter, outscored the Colts 21-3 Monday night. You want to, stay in contention for the divisional title. This is a must-win game. I mean, I know it's sounding cliche here, but I'm saying these are games you got to win. These are like almost gimme games if you're playing teams like the Browns or the 49ers. But that's the NFL. These are professional athletes. You can't give them an inch, because then if you give them an inch, all of a sudden they take a mile, and before you know it, they come away with the win. So you got to take advantage of your opportunities. I'm going with the Titans in this one. Seattle versus New York Giants. New York Giants are at home. I'm not really high on Seattle this year, but I'm going to go with Seattle just because their secondary and their defense is what I think carrying them. Russell Wilson hasn't been playing great. There's difference since it's not Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. Eddie Lacy's not really much of an impact anymore. After his first season in Green Bay, he's going downhill and continues to. Meanwhile, his weight's going up. I'm not trying to make a cheap shot, but I'm just stating an obvious fact that he's having issues with. Doug Baldwin, I think, is their go-to guy. I think, did Golden Tate get hurt? No, wait, he plays for the Lions now. What am I thinking? He did get hurt, though, I think. But, yeah, I mean, Seattle, I'm just going to go with them. But the Giants could maybe muster a win. This is not. I don't think it's going to be an easy task for the Seahawks. They got their work hand out filled out for them, but I think I see them come away with the win. Denver at the LA Chargers. I'm going to go with the LA Chargers. I just like the way they're playing. I mean, I think they are maybe a little underrated despite their record. They've been in close games. I know the one game they lost the last second field goal, and I believe they had another issue with their field goal kicking game. They could easily be 4-2, maybe even better. That's why I think they're underrated. Phillip Rivers is a good quality, dare I say, maybe even an elite quarterback. He's got good receiver in Keenan Allen, a good tight end and veteran in Antonio Gates. I know I'm probably missing, but I don't follow the Chargers as much as I probably should. I don't really know many of the players as I should because, certain players get all the recognition on each team. For example, like Dallas right now, it's Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. Meanwhile, an older guy like Jason Witten might still get overlooked, but he's someone you don't want to overlook because he can still cause you problems in the passing game along with the blocking game. But I'm going with the Chargers in that one. Got a little carried away off subject there, or do a different team. But Chargers are that one. Sunday night's game, a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. Both these teams are Atlanta's going in downward direction, and New England's going up. Like they're at a stable position. You kind of want to go up, obviously. But I'm going with New England this one. I just realized I have Matt Ryan on my fantasy team, and I just realized that with that, I got to check to see how I did with my fantasy teams last week because I didn't get a chance to edit them because, like I said, I was busy taking care of personal matters. And should I start Matt Ryan or Phillip Rivers? If you're still tuned in and you're watching this, please give me your opinion who I should start this weekend. I have Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers on one of my fantasy teams. Tell me who you think I should go with. New England's, their defense, and I can't remember if it's their pass defense or the overall defense or rushing defense is ranked last in the league, I heard. So maybe I could take advantage of that. But please tell me give me your thoughts on what I should do. I'm going with New England though on this one. The Atlanta is just kind of trending downward right now. In the Monday night game, Philadelphia Eagles versus Redskins, a good divisional matchup. It's in Philadelphia, kind of cliche, but the Eagles are playing good. I mean, it's that simple. And they went into Carolina, which is a tough place to play. The defense came up big. and picked off Cam Newton 3 times and held him to 1 rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. But they did the job and did what they needed to do. And I like, the Eagles defense came up big. Their offense, Carson Wentz has Aguilar and Alshon Jeffrey. LeGarrette Blount, he just takes tacklers with him. I mean, he might not break off a 60, 70-yard run, but he goes through and takes tacklers with him for 10, 11 yards and to keep moving the chains. And I think that's a crucial factor also for Carson Wentz's development as a quarterback to keep a flow going. And he's fitting really well under this new system since what's his name left? Andy Reid left, and I believe I said like it was Doug Peterson is his name. If correct me if I'm wrong. But those are my picks for Week 7. Feel free to let me know where you agree, disagree. NFL Prognosticators Facebook group page link will be in the description of this video below. You can hang out, talk to us about football and stats. That's what we like to do in the group. I'm not as active as I would like to be, but I do participate and share my videos. I try to be upbeat, and but there's guys in there that like to talk about it all the time. If you're really one of those people who just like to talk about sports, especially football. I'm still on a little bit of a protest. I don't really watch the games, but I follow the games because of my fantasy and just because I want to know how my teams are doing. But I'm still just upset with the whole national anthem protest. But let's get off that subject. Like I said, that link will be in the description below. You can check out my Facebook link and my Twitter as well. Follow me on there. Talk about anything and everything from any controversial subjects to topics that I feel like I like talking about. It's not just sports on this channel anyway, on this YouTube channel. So with that said, as always, I'm Nam, and always use your noodle.